Greetings, people of the faith, and welcome to part 2 of our 3-part series on the Celtic Warrior and what that boy do. If you're enjoying the series, or even if you're not, please leave a like, comment, or a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it, and I promise I will stop calling your mother. With the Agema, oh no, it's not an Agema, my mistake, Galatian Spear for Pergamon. A little confusing there. I believe this unit is a 440, maybe 460. But either way, it should hold its own. It's supposed to be decent unit. I've heard some people talk trash of it, but I think for their price they're pretty good. They do have some stripy little outfits there. Now one guy's wearing stripy tights, looks like. Jeggings, ancient jeggings from the Galatian Spear. The Celtic's definitely got the charge bonus superiority. Pretty sure it took hit him pretty hard with the Pila, but I mean the Galatian Spear's pretty middle of the road, down the, across the board, right down the middle, 50s. What is it? Base morale is 55, the health looks 50, armor is 45, same as the Celt. Defense is better than the Celt. Charge bonus is worse. I think it was only 15 or something. 14 charge bonus, yeah. And it's going. It's wiping. Barely killed anybody. Oh, maybe a third of the unit. Okay, the Celts win again. And here we go, rounded shield this time. And that's a 450 unit, so this one's even bigger than the Oathsworn. More expensive there, not the Oathsworn. The Bloodsworn. Again, the lower armor. The Pila exchange seemed to be fairly even. But I think the Bloodsworn, the rounded shield, I think that's a 40 armor unit. So the Celts got a beat there. The charge bonus, I'm fairly sure the Celts got a beat on that as well. Our charge bonus is comparable. So the stats are pretty even, honestly. Pretty even. Now this unit, the rounded shield should beat the Celt. It's substantially more expensive. 110? No, more than that. No, just 100. Never mind, just 100 denarii or sestertii. What? I'm not sure what they are. Call it gold. Call it money. Call it whatever you like. Clams, bones. Oh, there's other names for money. Ooh, that guy got shield flipped. Fighting in the hot desert sun. I wonder if that has an impact on any of these units. I didn't even check that. I didn't even consider that. If anything, that should boost some of them, like Nabatea and Saba and those guys. We'll see how they do when we get to them. Oh, just headbutted that rounded shield guy right in the face. Oh, and he got cut down. It might be the rounded shield this time. Looking like they're about to wrap it up. And that's a win for the Celt. Okay, beats the rounded shield. And here we go, Nabatean Swordsman. This is also a 450. Get that initial Pila toss off. Yeah, very nice. It looked like it was a pretty even exchange on the Pila toss. It's fairly even. Actually, the Nabatean Swordsman's a little bit in the lead, but the Celt seems to be turning it around. Better attack, but worse damage for the Nabatean. Melee defense is comparable, maybe a little in the favor of the Celt. Armor, I think, is the Nabatean's favorite. Morale, I believe the Nabatean sword is only 35, so Celt's got him beat by a substantial margin in staying power in terms of morale. But the health favors the Nabatean sword as well, so that's not a slouch of a unit, coming in at 450. Holding its own against the beefy Giga Chad Celt. I just wanted to say Giga Chad. I'm not even sure what the hell that means. Okay, I'm thinking, how we look at it, looks still pretty even. Pretty dang even. Oh, and the Celts are turning it. No, the Celts are turning it around. Yeah, there they go. Okay, so the Nabatean sword started off strong, but the morale and the weapon damage of, and I mean the charge bonus is comparable. So that little bit of melee defense, weapon damage, morale, that's turning the tide for the Celtic, and they're going to be victorious in this conflict. Nabatean swords. Oh, he refuses to die. Can they turn it around last minute here? Just not enough morale for the Nabatean swordsman. And who do we have up next? We've got the Spear Gladiatrice. This is the Lady Spears, which I think are 460 or so? 440 maybe? Oh, nasty. So, okay, since they have 40 armor, the Pila didn't do too much damage. And they've got a juicy charge bonus, I think. What is that, 30? Oh, the charge bonus isn't actually that great, but that melee defense is huge. 70 melee defense. Let's see if that's going to be enough. I know they're only 120 strong in terms of manpower. Those are some beefy looking ladies. Those ladies is jacked up. 84 left on the Celt. Okay, so it's getting even. Look at this. They started with 40 more men, lost men on the Pila charge, or killed more on the Pila charge. So when they hit combat, they're looking at 116 men to 160. Well, women, my mistake. And look at the killing. The Spear Gladiatrice with its massive, was it 40 attack, 29 damage? Charge bonus only 20, but good enough to hang with the Celt. Insane melee defense stats. And I think the armor's only 40, so it's just a little bit worse. Health and all that. Morale favors the Spear Gladiatrice. The ladies of Rome are gonna take it. And that's what it looks like. Who would have thought? I definitely thought the Celt would beat the Spear Gladiatrice. Would beat the Spear Gladiators, and I think they're only 20 less. So it's not that much of a difference. With that melee defense, they just can't hit them. They just can't hit them. What do we got here? The Galatian Swordsman of Egypt. Now that's a 470. So this should be, the Galatian sword should win this. Pila toss. Now they only got the 35 armor, so the Celts definitely won on the Pila exchange. An even match, straight down the middle. The number of men dying, the number of men killing, identical. Look at the slaughter. The killing. Gotta love these kill animations. It's dead even. What if they both bring mutual destruction? I'm not sure that's even possible. Someone's gonna break first, like that final dice roll. Oh, the jump attack. That's where it's at. That's bang on even. So the morale for the Glacial Sword is better. The health is worse. The armor is worse. The defense is, I think, better. Comparable. Charge bonus is about the same. So they are pretty even. Oh, look at that. They both start to rout at the same time. They are so evenly matched. Oh, is the Celt going to pull it out and destroy the Galatian sword? The Galatian swordsman from Egypt, not the 360 Galatian sword from Galatia, which would clearly devastate this unit. He's still holding on. He don't want to leave. He don't want to give up. What are we looking at? It's still, I mean, the killing, it's still pretty even, you know? Oh. Okay. The morale has turned it around for the Galatian sword, and the Galatian sword is going to take it. Amazing. Did not think that was going to happen. I thought the Celt had that for sure. And what do we have here? The Mercenary Axe Warriors, 460 cost from Illyria, and I think they are also in a couple other factions. You can get this level of Axe Warrior. Massilia, I believe Boy has this Axe Warrior as well, and I think the Merc and the regular are the same. You can let me know in the comments. I can't remember exactly, but if you would let me know, that would be amazing. Celt Warrior and Mercenary Axe Warrior, toe-to-toe is pretty even. I mean, the Axe Warrior should be the favored, much like the Galatian sword from the previous conflict. They're just beefier on the bottom end, you know, thick on the bottom. Now, the Axe Warrior, a little flat up top, but you could overlook that due to its overwhelmingly thick bottom side of the stats. We're talking about stats, by the way, stats. Get your mind out of the gutter. Or not. Do you, baby. You do you. That's dead even. I'm going to call it on the Axe Warrior. I'm pretty sure the Illyrian Axe Warrior is going to defeat the Celt. I just don't see it being able to kill enough of the axes. Still 80 men left in the Axe Warrior, and what is that? I missed that. I think in the 80 or so. Oh, it's still dead even. Oh, okay, slightly. Mercenary Axe Warrior winning slightly. Yeah, I don't think the health, morale, armor of the Axe Warrior is just going to be too much for the Celt to overcome, in my opinion. And I think that Celt's going to rout. Call another loss for the Celtic. I mean, it's held up quite well. That's a few losses in a row for it, so maybe the units are getting a little too expensive. I don't know, there's another part to this video, so there should be more killing, more victories by the Celtic Warrior. Let's see who's up next. The Getae Heavy Spear. Now that unit's got a ton of armor. I think it's a 70 armor. So the Jabby Toss did what? Well, killed like maybe 2 guys. I believe it has a 55 health. The morale is only 44. Oh no, the morale is 45, same as the Celt. The armor 65. Melee defense all at 58, so way better. And it doesn't have that, like the attack is decent, 29, so it should land some blows. Now the damage is only 22. But it should still do some killing. And on the charge, it should have dropped some of those Celts. Right now it's looking, I mean, the men are dropping and the kills aren't going up very fast for the Heavy Spear. And I think the cost of this unit is 480. So the Heavy Spear getting put to the sword by the Celt is what it appears like. just can't kill enough men, even though its melee attack is 29. So this is the best spear unit, the most offensive punch spear unit that the Celt has faced in this series so far. And it's not looking good for it. I feel like it's going to rout. The morale's the same as the Celt. I'm surprised. Only killed 25 of them, and it's on the way out with 60 men left in the unit. A shameful display by the Getae Heavy Spear. And what do we have here? I believe this one is, the Spear Brother. That's right, the Nervi Spear Brother. Spear Warrior? Spear Brother. And that's also a 480. Let's see how this Pila exchange works out. Nice, so it has the Pila toss. Everyone gets charged in. So that looks like a pretty even exchange on the Pila toss. So now I gotta check these stats to see the offensive punch of this unit, but I think it's comparable, if not better, than the Getae. So maybe this spear unit. Okay, so the attack is 25 and 26, so the damage is a little more, but the attack is less. The melee defense is super high. Armor is good. The morale is a little low, 40 only. And the charge bonus was, not enough, I don't think. Oh, 29, so damn. Okay. So they should, they got a chance here to be the first spear unit. That's not true. The Gladiatrice Spear women. My mistake. The first traditional spear unit, full 160, with Pila, going up against the Celt. I guess you don't have to add Pila in as a stipulation. You know what I mean. People don't use the Gladiatrice. People don't really use the Spear Brother. Okay, forget I said anything. But I do think the Spear Brother has a chance to beat the Celt. But again, I think it's going to run into the same problem every other spear unit does. And that's, so far anyways, and that's just not enough killing potential, right? Like the Spear Gladiatrice, I think, had a 40 attack and a 29 damage. So it's hitting every strike, Oh, there it goes. With 50 men left in the unit, it is routing. It's over. The Celtic wins. And now the mercenary Cushite shield women. These guys from Egypt, 490. 490. And I think they're 490 because they're defensively impressive in the stats. But again, the spear unit just does not, it just lacks the killing potential in the game to be hyper effective. Looks like this the shield women are getting cut down pretty bad here. They got a charge bonus only 26. What's the armor on those guys? I missed it. They're just cutting them up. There's not enough. These guys are so expensive. Melee defense is low, health is 60. No, they're not. That's a terrible unit. A terrible unit for 490? Yikes. Alright, and this one's the Boy Spear Warrior, so it's better than the Spear Brother. I do believe it is 490 gold instead of 480. The Spear Brother is 480. This one being the Boy Spear Warrior, 490. So it should hold its own. Still, its defensive stats impressive. Its killing power suspect. I think, again, much like the last two units, that Egyptian unit didn't even last. It could barely hold its own. 490. It just got melted, erased. I think that was one of the quickest fights. This one might drag on a bit. I mean, always losing decisively. Maybe I spoke too soon on that. The Warriors are just racking up kills. Almost half the unit already. Oh, there goes another Spear Warrior. Hits the dirt. Oh, Celts are getting stabbed up too. But they've only managed to kill 30. And they're about half done. The unit is about more than half dead. The morale's keeping them alive, but I don't think they're going to be able to turn it around. There's going to be too many Celts. Yeah, that looks like it for the Spear Warrior. The Celts are going to be victorious again. That's 490 cost unit. It's getting up there. And here we go, the Nabatean sword. The Nabatean sword, Axe Warrior, is also a 490. It's got the Pila. It's got the armor. It's got everything it needs to defeat the Celtic Warrior. And the first Pila toss incoming. Here we go. Oh, yeah. What do we got for the exchange? I think the Celts maybe have benefited more from that exchange, but actually could have been pretty even. Could have been negligible in terms of advantage one way or the other. So maybe 2 or 3 dead on each side from that. And the initial charge looked like it dropped quite a few people on maybe both sides, but the Celtic charge was superior since the charge bonus was only 20 on the Axe Warrior, which is probably why they get a bad rap. Well, I say a bad rap, but why the reputation for the Nabatean Axe Warrior is so poor. As an Axe Warrior, where's the offensive punch? You know, it's like, how about we make an Axe Warrior that's just okay at attack and okay at defense, so it gets defeated by everything. It's holding its own against this Celt, though. So maybe those middle-of-the-road stats can be beneficial in some circumstances. I mean, it looks very similar to the Nabatean sword, but I think it has less, or it's better health, better morale, I believe, is the major difference. So it takes longer to cut them down, but the Celt is winning. The Celt is in the lead, but it is slowly, about 13 men or so, 10 men now. So it's slowly shifting back towards a more balanced, maybe even into the favor of the Nabatean Axe Warrior. Definitely one of the longer fights. I think every other fight so far has been over by this point, and these Nabateans, they're holding on. Or rather, from the other perspective, the Celts are also refused to die. Very evenly matched units. The Celt 350 cost. The Nabatean Axe Warrior 490 cost. But it looks to me, they're still even. I was going to say they're coming to an end, but I don't think so. Winded and they're active, so the Nabatean has the advantage right now. Will they capitalize and turn the tide and hand the Celts another loss? Now, the Celts have been pretty good against spear units, but as soon as you put them up against something that's got a little more offensive punch, they don't seem to hold so well, or as well as you might think. Okay, Celts are winning. Yeah, they turned it back around. There's just, I mean, it's going to be even, like, pretty down to the wire, but the Nabatean sword is, he's done. He routed. It's over. Next on the list, the Scutari Spear from the Aravaci. No, yes, the Aravaci, that's the faction. They're 500 cost unit. They get a Pila toss. They have good armor at 60, so the Celt loses on the toss, but wins on the charge. And the Scutari, they do not have the killing punch. 23 and 25. Armor's good, morale is good, and the health is the same. So I'm thinking, like, they're just gonna get cut down, like all these other spear units. Like every other spear unit so far, with the exception of the Gladiatrice, the Spear Gladiatrice of Rome. And I think that one was about 420 or 440. So these spears, they need to pick it up. I wonder if any of the spear units will defeat the Celt. Because the Scudari sure as heck ain't going to do it. I mean, they're holding out. So, you know, for a spear unit, it's probably one of the higher kills against the Celtic, I think. I don't think anyone else broke 50. Actively losing. Yeah. Now, it's not crazy. There's just not enough. There's just not enough killing. They can't stop the Celt. Again, same problem with every spear. This Celt is going to beat this one too. Celts for the win. Oh, here we go. Who is this? I believe this is the Perioikoi Hoplite. It is the Perioikoi Hoplite. That is a 510 cost unit. This is the beefiest Hoplite, the beefiest spear unit that the Celts have faced to date. Again, 24 and 26. The killing's not great. The armor is huge. The defense is huge. But will it be enough to weather the onslaught of the beefy boys? The Celtic Warrior, the mighty, the backbone of every great army. Perioikoi holding their own. Oh, I want to see how high that these guys can punch with some success. I mean, obviously there's going to be an upper limit. Even to put a Celt against an Osworn or Armored Shotel is pointless. We know what the outcome is. I mean, for most of these, maybe we know the outcome as well, but it's nice to see. It's interesting to see how well they perform against units with these types of defensive stats or that kind of armor. What the Pila damage looks like. And get an idea of, you know, how OP for the cost is a Celtic unit. And so far, it's held up pretty good. It's held up pretty good. I think it's won most of the conflicts. Most of the matchups have gone to the Celt. Even against some of the better units you would expect would outperform, but they did not. They were at least very even. The Perioikoi is done. The Celts win. There it goes. I cut it off a little short. That's my mistake. But Karen, trust me, the Perioikoi was breaking. And here we go. The Desert Hoplite. This one, oh no, Caravan Guard. Caravan Guard. My mistake. Is that what that is? Yes, it is. The Caravan Guard for Nabatea is a 520. So this is more expensive than its axemen or swordsman counterparts in the army. But it's not doing so hot. It's already lost 50 men. You know, it's got a little bit of a charge. What's its charge? 22, so that's okay. It's better than the Axe Warrior, which is kind of weird. And then it's just, again, same problem with the Spear. Not enough killing power. Great defensive set. Armor is 70. That's awesome. The charge bonus, like I said, I mean, it's almost the same as the Celtic. They've got the health, morale benefit. But I doubt it's going to be enough. Highly doubt. And they're done. That was quick. That's what she said. Last matchup for the day. And it is, of course, the Getuli Tribesmen. 520 cost unit. Massive offensive punch. 0 armor, so they're going to suffer this Pila exchange. Oh god, oh my god, so much blood. Oh the god, they lost like 30 dudes on that exchange. Holy crap. I mean, yeah, they got some offensive power, but they have no, like, oh, they lost so much on the exchange, and then they're just getting cut up. Like, their charge bonus did nothing, even though it's 36. Bonus versus infantry, all that stuff. They just got They just got crushed. I mean, oh man, that Pila was nasty. Okay, so no, they got crushed, but then they look at all of a sudden the Celts are just dropping. It's just not enough. It's just not enough. The Celts win. The Celts win. The Celts win. And that's going to do it for part 2 of our Celtic Warrior versus the World series. Until next time, everybody, be kind to yourself. Peace.